Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and following the announcement that Overwatch 2 original vision for PvE was getting cancelled, the Overwatch team finally revealed what they're going to be doing instead, along with the pricing of the story missions that's going to be replacing the complete campaign mission, and people are not happy. So first, let's catch you up to speed of what's even going on with Overwatch 2 PvE, because there's tons of confusion around it, and Blizzard is not helping the fact that they're making it even more confusing by hiding a lot of these details, because I'm sure that you don't even know what the details are unless you're clicking videos like this. So originally back at the end of 2019, Blizzard announced that Overwatch was going to be making Overwatch 2, where a secondary focus was going to be updating the multiplayer, but the primary focus was going to be offering the fans a complete story mode.
We will have the complete story experience featuring story missions
where it was going to have skill trees, and it was going to have hero missions, and it was going to be exploring the whole entire lore of Overwatch 2 and their heroes. Then fast forwarding 3 years later, after they released Overwatch 2 with just the multiplayer, with the assumption that they were going to be releasing PvE later in 2023, they then said in a 30-minute Star Watch event in 10 minutes that they were no longer going to be fulfilling the original promise that they made back in 2019 by giving a complete PvE story mission with hero trees.
It's clear that we can't deliver on that original vision for PvE that was shown in 2019.
But they were still going to try to attempt to make some sort of PvE content so that they can somewhat fulfill the promise that they dug themselves in back in 2019. And very quietly, through the use of a blog post, we finally see the details of what these story missions are going to be, along with the pricing. And this is where people are getting pissed. Instead of getting a full complete story mode with skill trees to help enhance the replayability so that you feel like you're getting value by buying this, something built very similar to like a Spider-Man game or a Halo campaign mode, or really any single player game, instead we are gonna be getting a campaign mission packs. And the first pack is gonna be called Invasion, and this is gonna be released in Season 6 on August 10th of 2023. But this is the kicker. This pack is only gonna be including 3 campaign missions, and the 3 story missions are going to be taking place on Rio de Janeiro. I butchered that, but it's basically Pariso, or the playable campaign mission that was available at 2019 BlizzCon is actually the gameplay that you're watching right now. It's also going to take place on Toronto and also Gothenburg, which is Torbjorn's homeland. But if only getting 3 story missions with this first pack wasn't enough to get you upset, you want to know how much they're going to be charging for this? They're going to be charging $15 for these 3 story missions. Now, I want to also clarify too that this isn't only just going to include the 3 story missions, but should it really matter at this point? Maybe it should. Let me explain. You're also going to be getting, along with the 3 story missions, 1,000 Overwatch 2 coins. So if you're not a PvP player, that is completely useless. You're also going to be getting a brand new Sojourn skin. So if you don't like playing Sojourn, that $19 value is also going to be useless. And on top of that, you're also just getting Sojourn unlocked permanently in multiplayer without having to complete the challenges within Overwatch 2 to unlock her. So once again, if you're not a multiplayer player, and if you don't like playing Sojourn, you get that on top of spending $15. So while you're technically getting an extra $29 worth of value by spending $15 along with 3 story missions, is any of that really worth it? And for the people that say no, your next question might be, okay, is there a way to just buy the 3 story missions? No, idiot. What? No. There's no way to buy just 3 missions. You either have to spend $15 or get the ultimate bundle, which we will talk later. So now I ask you again, is any of this worth it? Maybe you're looking at that as a brand new Overwatch 2 player and be like, whoa, that's really cool. But then again, if you're watching my channel, you're probably not a brand new Overwatch 2 player. In fact, you probably already have Sojourn unlocked. You probably already have all this stuff that you don't really want. You want what was originally originally promised to you back in 2019. A complete story mode that had skill trees and replayability. But instead now, you're just getting extra garbage that you might not care about, but it's also painted in a way like, oh, you're getting an extra $19 worth of value. Yeah, that's a legendary skin that Blizzard said was a $19 value. In Overwatch 1, it cost 1,000 Overwatch credits, which would translate to about $10. They just inflated the price just to make it seem like you're getting extra value. You're not. It's the same type of legendary skin, but you get 3 story missions. All right, let's talk about those missions then. When it comes to these 3 campaign missions, I'm making an assumption based on the very first campaign mission, which involves Rio. I never played Toronto, I never played Gothenburg, but I can kind of infer that they're around the same length of playtime as Rio. And you want to know how long that is? It's about 16 minutes. Rio takes 16 minutes to complete. So if I want to be generous here, it will probably take about an hour to complete all 3 story missions. And that's making the huge assumption that Toronto and Gothenburg is around the same play length as Rio. 1 hour worth of gameplay. I'm spending $15 for 1 hour of gameplay. I can go spend $15 at a movie and get 2 hours worth of enjoyment. And I know people will make the argument, well, you get 1,000 Overwatch 2 coins, and for somebody that buys the whole entire battle pass, that should be what. It's not about that. It's about the principle and just how much of a joke this monetization is of Overwatch 2 has become. But the monetization BS doesn't end there, because they're also including a $40 bundle, the Ultimate Invasion bundle. So what do you get with this $40 bundle? Where you get the 3 previously mentioned story missions, like I mentioned before, and you're also going to be getting the Null Sector Premium Battle Pass with 20 Battle Pass skips. But you're also going to be getting a total of 2,000 Overwatch 2 coins. So again, only PvP players care about that. But you're getting a legendary skin for Cassidy and Kiriko on top of that. That is painted out to be a $38 value, which again, in Overwatch 1 would have just been 2,000 Overwatch 1 credits. Look, I can see the value in both of the bundles. Doesn't mean I have to agree and defend them, and I'm not. But for people that were already gonna buy the Season 6 Battle Pass, yeah, the regular $15 Invasion bundle makes sense, because you spend an additional $5 and you get 3 story missions. But you're also spending $5 for an hour of gameplay, so does it really make sense? And the Ultimate Invasion bundle, it makes sense for idiots like me that were not only gonna buy the Season 6 Battle Pass, but also probably buy Battle Pass tier skips, because I like to make videos and content around the skins that I buy the extra tier skips for. Again, I'm a content creator, but that also means that I'm an idiot, so that's the only time that that $40 value pack makes sense. But this is what makes the Overwatch 2 PvE experience a complete joke, and why people are pissed is that Blizzard over the past 3 years has shifted away from putting the story first to now putting profits first. And I would love to say that I'm surprised by that shift, but I'm not. I also understand that, hey, Blizzard's a business. They're not here necessarily to tell a great story, but that's why people are pissed, is that it's possible. Like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, do you think Sony was in there trying to only tell a good story? No, they obviously were there to make as much money as possible, but you can make as much money as possible while still being able to tell a really good story. When it comes to Overwatch 2, they're not even telling a complete story. They're cutting it up to try to milk as much money as possible, because they know that if they sell an incomplete story, the people will want to buy the full complete story. So instead of spending, say, like $40 on a fully complete story mode that has replayability, maybe we can just sell this infinitely. Maybe we don't even have to complete the story. We can sell story missions for the rest of our lives and charge $15 and have as much profit as our pockets can handle. They're literally going down the road of One Piece, where they just sell arc after arc after arc. But luckily, in the case of One Piece, you can just kind of yo ho ho ho, a pirate's life for me. But when it comes to Overwatch 2, you can't. Well, actually, you can. If you just watch creators play the story mode, you don't have to spend a dime and you still experience the same story, which that's probably the saddest part, is that, again, this is going to sound very pessimistic, but it might not even be that good of a story. If they're having to worry about mainly the profits rather than the story, then do you really think the story is going to be filled with the love and creativity that it deserves? Probably not. I mean, just look at it like this. The Invasion bundle is gonna cost $15 and includes 1,000 Overwatch 2 coins. Blizzard is basically saying 1,000 Overwatch 2 coins is more valuable than 3 story missions, which cost about $5 if you just want to round up the total cost. Even Blizzard doesn't think the story missions are that valuable. So what makes you think the future story missions are gonna be eye-opening and so amazing to the point where you want to keep up with the story? No, they're there to funnel people to multiplayer and the battle pass and the heroes, because that's where the money's at, not the story missions. And that's the biggest letdown from Blizzard, is that it doesn't even seem like they care that much about PvE, and it's starting to seem more and more that that's the case. But who knows, maybe the Invasion Pack and Gothenburg and Toronto will be great campaign story missions, but if I know anything from the time that I played Rio, yeah, Rio was great, but that was under the assumption that there was going to be like 20 more missions just like this, and who knows how many more story missions. We still do not know when this story mode is going to be complete, and there's just so many frustrating parts about it. But if you see value in both of the invasion packs, then that's great. I'm happy for you. I don't. If I wasn't a creator, I wouldn't be buying it, but this is my job. I am going to, because that's just what I do. I make content out of this kind of stuff for your guys' enjoyment, and hopefully I can save you guys some money in the future. But until then, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.